There we go. Hey, welcome, Tech for Senior Live. I am awake. I am awake. That is uplifting music there, Huey. Thank you for doing that. Welcome, everyone. This is Tech for Senior Live. And of course, we have a special guest today who I'm going to introduce in a moment. But anyway, just to let everybody know that this is a live show. We are taping this, or we are broadcasting it to YouTube and to Facebook. It is not a Zoom meeting. So if you are over trying to log into Zoom to look at our Monday show feed, you are in the wrong place. You should to come over to our Facebook or our YouTube channel and you'll see the show.
If you're watching us on Zoom, you really have a problem.
You're not, you got the wrong, you're watching someone else. The imposters. That's right. And so, yes, indeed. So we are taping this show and it will be available later on this afternoon. Well, no, we are taping. It'll be as soon as we finish. It's taped and it'll be on. It will be on. I don't even have to edit it, which is great. So that's great. We're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to go over some news articles. If you want to, we post all our current news articles on our Facebook page. So if you want to go over to our Facebook page, then you can follow along as we go through the different news articles today. So without further ado, I'm so anxious to introduce our first guest because he's one of my favorite guys. I got to be careful because I got the other two fellas here. I got to be careful what I say about Jim. But Jim, of course, is from Geeks on Tour. Chris and Jim are well known. I'm sure everyone knows them. Chris, Jim, how the heck are you doing? And you had a great summer this. You traveled a lot, eh?
We did, and thanks for having me on. This is our and the Mutual Admiration Society is strong here.
Yeah.
So amongst all of us here, you guys, yeah. So it's great because of the community we have. Yeah, we did a lot of traveling. We left mid-June in our little camper van, and we went up through Alabama and Texas, visiting folks who we know and met along the way, some camping and a lot of driveway camping, visiting. And that was fun, up through Colorado and into Wyoming, where we had a couple of gigs. We call them gigs. They're 1 week long conventions of RVers. And we present seminars. Well, Chris does most of the work, as you know, but we do live seminars, and none of those things were happening last year. So this year we really needed to get out on the road because that's what we are, is geeks on tour, and we were geeks at home for a whole year. That was not good, but yeah, we had a great time. We were able to stay in touch because of mobile internet, and we actually did a few shows while we were out, even out when we were camping. It was cool.
Yeah. And some of your shows you did inside your little van. Now, I was wondering how you two, like, we lived in a 38-foot fifth wheel for 2 years when we full time for 2 years, traveled across the United States and Canada. Right. And it was a big space, but even got confining after a while. How can you go from that big unit you used to have down into that road trek, the smaller unit? Isn't it a bit stressful?
Well, not really. We've been together working and living together for very close proximity for a long time. And no, it's good. The actual inside of that van is much larger than the outside. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot like Hermione's purse in the Harry Potter. You get inside and it becomes much larger.
Much larger. All right.
No,
Well,
you live outside too, but
yeah.
we have our own spot. She's in the back in her office, if you will, and I'm in the front, and I have my own little setup for work and just it works.
It works. That's cool. And well, speaking of working, and of course, I have my other two favorite people with me today, and I'll introduce those in a minute. But if you are listening, if you could put your name and where you're from in the chat, that's great. We have some people in our chat now that have put their name in. We have Olive Cousin is from Oregon. We have, of course, Sally from Kirkland, Washington, all on the West Coast. Louisiana, Pat's from Louisiana. And what's this Christine Guld? What a good-looking guest you have today. Welcome. She's probably sitting next to you there. So
no, she's in her office. So
she's in her office. There you go. And of course, okay, Hewie.
She's probably drinking though. I don't know.
Hewie, we have a busy morning. What else are we doing this morning?
We have Chromebooks, learning Chromebooks. It's 2:00 this afternoon here, and 11:00 in your. So it's 2:00 real time and 11:00 your time.
So I'm going to try and make that one.
Yeah, so we actually have a really big show today too for the Learning Chromebooks. Lots of stuff there, lots of really interesting stuff. So, so we've got a busy morning. And
you
Bob,
tried to also before we go on, if you tried to register and it said registration closed, I found that out last night and I fixed it. So you can register and get your link for today's meeting if you haven't registered. If you have registered, you should have got an email reminding you of your link.
Yeah. And it's free. We don't even charge for it. So
we don't?
No, I told you. Yeah, we don't.
Is that what my paycheck say 0.00?
Exactly, 0.00. And Bob, how the heck are you doing this morning?
Just fine. And I didn't get a paycheck, even not one that said 00.
You didn't get one? It's it's in the mail.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's in the mail. Oh, didn't you get that e-transfer that I sent you? You know
those. I don't open those.
Oh, that's it. That's why you didn't get it. You assumed it wasn't anything there. There you go. All right, let's see who else. We got some more people who joined in. JJ Johnson from Waukegan, Illinois. Is that how Waukegan, Illinois? And Joan is from Victoria, British Columbia. Joan, I was wondering, it is just a drop down, dead gorgeous day here. The sun has come out and it's shining on the water here as I'm looking out my studio. So it's just beautiful. Gerald Smith from West Seattle, lots of West Coast people. Joel from Lake Worth, Florida.
That's not West Coast.
That's not.
No, he's a neighbor. And this is a live shot out of my studio window.
It is not.
It is.
Is it? Can you see the water from your house? I don't think so. You told me you were.
It's a webcam, Ron.
Oh, it's a webcam. Oh,
but it is live. It's what's happening right now in Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Oh, I see.
Lauderdale by the sea.
Yeah, I live on the West Coast. West Coast of Florida, but West Coast.
Clark is still living near Trenton, New Jersey, windy, and we're all bracing for more rain. And Chrissy, make sure to ask Jim about his oven. Your oven. Did you get a new oven?
Not just, but I replaced my oven range with a Lenovo smart oven and a induction stovetop. And I redid my kitchen earlier this year.
Right.
And I'm a beta tester for the app for this oven.
So now which oven is it? It's a smart oven, is it?
Yes, it's called Anova, ANOVA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
a combination oven. You can program it. You have an app on your phone or on a tablet. I keep a tablet right on the wall in the kitchen so I can run recipes, and it has stuff in there, and it's very accurate. You can do sous vide in it.
So now listen, Leo Laporte talks about, he's got one of these, he's got an oven that's about $800 and it's a super duper. Do you ever listen to Leo's show? I can't remember what it's called, but
I'll have to check it out. I do occasionally, but I haven't caught that. I don't.
And he's talking about it's a smart oven that does, all these sort of things. And I was wondering if it's not that name. There's another name, and I just don't know what it is, but it's probably a similar idea where it just senses everything. When you put the stuff in, it senses everything, and then it just cooks it sort of based on all those things, right?
Well, it also has a water reserve, so you can put steam, introduce steam in there, and you can set up different programs for it. So that I just finished a 18-hour cook. Yeah.
So listen, why don't you,
anyway,
what we'll do in the future is, why don't you do, we'll give you on our Monday show, and you can do a little 10-minute clip on it and show us how it all works. And
that's what Chris thinks I should do.
I think, yeah. You're on. You're booked in. You let me know when you get the video done, and we'll book you in for.
Yeah, hold your breath.
And Joan says, slightly cool here. Yes, indeed. So
don't forget, we invite, not only put your information on where you are and so on, but if you have questions along the way, don't forget, we're here to answer them. We're not here just to yak.
Yeah.
We'll answer questions. Absolutely.
Yeah. If we don't know the answer, we'll make something up.
Absolutely.
And George Bowden is from, of course, we have lots of people from Victoria. Light clouds burning off this morning. It looks like it's going to be a great day. All right, shall we get to work, you guys? Shall we look at some news articles and start talking about some technology? Does everyone have their coffee? I got my coffee, so we all got our coffees.
Iced tea.
And we'll start talking. Let me share my screen, and so we're going to go through these articles. If you want to follow along, certainly just go to our Facebook page, and you can read the articles as we go through them. And if you have any questions as we're going along, we'll be monitoring the chat. And if you have any questions about anything we're talking about, just put it in the chat, and we'll hopefully answer some of your questions for you. Let's share my screen, and we will. And this is our Facebook page. Everyone see that? I know you can't see the details of it, but this is the first article this morning. And Bob, you put this on Chrome 94. What's going on? I just did a video. Hey, listen, on our Chromebook session in another hour, I just finished doing a video on Chrome 93. How come you're on Chrome 94?
Well,
actually, it is
the
there.
browser.
Yep, in the browser, it's released.
Yeah, I'm using the browser on my PC 94, but my Chromebook is still 93, and it will be for a couple of more weeks.
Yeah. All right. Well, so Bob, anything
in
about
any
94?
case, Google in 94 introduced something new, something that makes those that hit us with advertising very happy, because they have now a way of monitoring to see when you're actually in front of your computer or whatever you're using, any device. It knows when you're there. It knows whether you're actively watching your screen, whatever screen you happen to be using. And some people don't think that that's really a good idea, because it can be used for something nefarious. In my two videos, one of them explains, because there are two in a row, the top one shows you how to turn it off, and the other one tells you all about what it actually does and why some people think that this is not such a good idea.
It knows when you are sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows
when
if
you're doing
you've
lots of
been
things.
bad or good, so be good for goodness sake.
Hey, Bob, when I dream about something on Amazon, it's on deal of the day next morning, right? So Does that mean if I dream about something, it won't be on deal of the day if we turn this off?
No, because you're still wearing your watch.
All right. Okay. All right. All right, coming down. Is this the same one you've got? Is that
That's the second one.
This is the one that explains what it's all about, and the first one is the one that's a tutorial that shows you how to turn it off.
Okay, great, super. So if anyone wants to look at that, just pop over to our Facebook page. Bob's got the articles posted.
Yeah, I already looked at it, and I followed his directions and changed it, so they don't know that I'm live. So they call with see if I want a car warranty extension instead.
Bob, what you posted this? This is the I guess Pfizer is being recommended now as a booster for over those of high risk, and also the kids now too. That's a recent change. Was there anything you wanted specifically to talk about that? Or
no, only to make people aware that. And my main concern is how long will it now take before they make this thing mandatory? Which is, I don't want to get into anything else, but
okay. Now this was interesting. I posted this article last night. Do you guys have OnStar? Does anyone have GM vehicles with OnStar? GM expands OnStar by offering 911 emergency services for your home through Amazon Alexa. So you probably know that you can't call 911 directly through Alexa because 911 services don't want that because there's no location for you. But GM is offering OnStar by offering 911 services for you through Amazon Alexa. So I guess if you're at home and you want to call 911 through Alexa, this goes through your GM, through your car, through the OnStar service in GM. I thought that was sort of cool. Although, what happens if your wife's taking the car and it's uptown and you're at home and call 911? I don't know how that's all going to work out. Did you guys see that, or does anyone have OnStar?
I don't have a GM car.
Nobody has GM car.
I used to on an old car, but
I have. Yeah, I have a truck, but it's a 2000.
Right. Yeah, I stopped OnStar a long time ago when I had it for the first couple of years, I guess, and but I haven't used it. But anyway, just thought I'd let you. That's a new article that just came out. And then the next one is the new Wise camera. Did we talk about this on the Monday? Did Bill talk about this on the Monday show? Anyway, this is pretty cool. I have this is the new one that came out, but I have the other one that pans. And I'm so pleased with it. You know, Wise really does make good equipment, and the software. Jim, do you have any cameras around the place? Do you?
I don't have any security cameras. We're in a gated community. So I did have a free app called Alfred for a while. Where
that's right. Yeah, I've done that one.
But I have nothing.
Well, for those of you, this is an indoor camera, but they're not that expensive, and the software that runs the camera is super easy to use, and it's really amazing because this turns around, and so you can look to the left, look to the right, look up and down, and it's really cool. It works very well, and so it is an indoor camera though, but so if you are interested, the new one was just released, and I thought that was sort of a cool one. I have a predecessor to this.
I have one of their cameras that's sitting in a window facing out, and I am probably buying this one to take that camera's place, so that I can do exactly what it does, and that's to.
Yeah, that would work real well in my front window too. So.
Yeah. What is the difference between, except when you're out of the house, but when you're in the house, having a camera, what is the difference between it and the Ray-Ban sunglasses with having a camera in the house? I'm very uncomfortable with that.
Well, it's because I test all these cameras. I get them all over the house, but when company comes, I have to grab it. I take them all down because it's a bit creepy. I can say to the company, well, hey, they're all off, honest, they, but I think that doesn't work so well, so I take them all.
Especially if you have overnight guests.
I have two in the house. One of them faces out in the computer room, out to the street. The other one is inside the house as part of the alarm system, and it only works when the alarm system is active, where I'm actually out of the house. Yeah. When I'm in the house, that camera still is not on. the way the settings are, the camera is only active when we leave the house.
Well, you know, it gets really complicated because at 2:30 in the morning, the neighbor's cat comes over to my front yard for a pee. And of course, the lights go on and the security cameras come on and they record the episode. And meanwhile, it notifies all my Alexa devices in the whole house. There's someone in the front yard, right? Well, I don't want to hear that at 2:30 in the morning on my Alexa device next to my bed. So I have that turned off. The problem is, of course, when my wife in the evening wants to contact me and say, do you want to watch a movie? And she's doing a broadcast, then she can't hear me on my response coming back up into the bedroom. So all this gets rather complicated. You know, it gets rather complicated. But anyway, here now, this is something you guys got to get. Have you seen this? This is the miniature robot, and this is from the company is this is Vespa, the company that makes scooters, the Vespa scooters. And this is a robot, and it will follow you to the grocery store. You can put all your groceries in, and then it'll follow you home. And this is going to be released in another couple of months, and it'll be about $3,000 US. And this is so you can go to the grocery store and you can load all your, like if you wanted, I guess maybe to take your bike up or something, and this would follow you up there. You could load it up with groceries and it would go home.
I like the idea of something like this, only for tourists in unknown towns or cities.
Yes.
And it would lead you to a destination, walking in a town, and you can keep an eye on it, because if it's behind you, following you, you don't know if it's back there. You got to keep looking back there, or something. I would, unless it beeps or makes noise or something.
Yeah, that's good idea.
And but if it could be useful for travelers, for tourists in, say, Paris, to take you to the Arc de Triomphe and see
or you could put your luggage. I guess I don't know if you put your luggage in, but if you didn't have too much luggage, you just put it in there, and then it would take you to the hotel, and your luggage would be in there, and you just file it behind it. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And you can follow it instead of it following you, because you don't know where you're going.
Good idea. Yeah, there you go. I wonder if they thought of that.
And like you say, if it's following you, somebody could snatch it up. You'd never know.
Well, yeah.
I think there's a top on this so that I probably lock. So when you put your groceries in there, you probably lock on the top. This is where it's open.
Well, something a little bit larger. These are Vespas. They know how to make something a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I thought that's so cool.
I'm 10 miles away from Walmart.
Well, you could have to ride on it. This is not for you, Bob.
It goes 38 miles. This goes 38 miles on a charge, so it goes quite a distance.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now I put this on here not because I wanted Jim, if you give us up. I know Jim has a portal. This is the Facebook portal, and they're bringing out yet another portal, right? And I don't know where we're going with these portals. Jim, do you have any comments that you have a portal? What's the scoop? This is Facebook's tablet that sort of links into Facebook.
Yeah, it's sitting in our dining area, and it's showing pictures most of the time. I use it mostly as another echo device. It has the A person behind it if you want it, and it'll do Facebook and Zoom, and the camera on it is really cool, but I don't use it because I have all this stuff,
Right.
But for if you just wanted it for casual type conferencing or Zooms and Facebook things, it's pretty slick. They're not expensive, and they connect. They're easy to use, but and
I think the pictures go right onto Facebook. Like if you take a picture with it, it's posted right onto Facebook, right? Yeah,
that's dangerous too.
Well, yeah, but if you're
it doesn't do everything. It doesn't post everything that you're doing up to Facebook. Okay. Although Mark Zuckerberg is watching everything you do.
Oh yeah. But you said this does connect to Miss A as well?
Yeah.
Sort of cool. And how much are they, Jim? What was yours? About $150?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. I have to look it up. Sorry.
Okay.
Buck 30, I think, $130. I think it was.
Yeah, it's really not much money. It's really pretty cool. This came out this morning, and I talk a lot about watches and apps and health apps on phones and stuff like that, and it's really amazing. This is Apple is working on technology to detect depression, anxiety, Alzheimer's disease. There's a whole other generation of apps and stuff that's coming out as our ability to monitor certain features in our body with these devices as watches. And we'll be able to, which is, I think, is going to be helpful. I think there's probably some good value in this coming up. So just a thought on that. That was an article that came out this morning. This was a very interesting article, and I wanted to get everyone's opinion on this. Not that this specifics has much to do with what we want to talk about, but I just wanted to. This is ExploreNet is launching its first rural 5G standalone network. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because if we just bring the article up here, come on, article. ExploreNet Communications, Canada's largest rural-focused broadband provider, launched a rural 5G standalone network powered by Ericsson radio systems. And the rollout will be for fixed wireless broadband services. And I've been talking about this for an awful long time, in that one of the ways in which we can get our internet services is through fixed wireless service through through 5G. And this, of course, is available in the United States through T-Mobile, Verizon, etc. And this, of course, is being implemented now in Northern Canada and all over the place. So I guess the question I have is everyone to think about this is, I know we all are talking about Elon Musk and Starlink, right? He's doing lots of work on that and talking a lot about it. But fixed-based 5G is really another huge option for a lot of people. And I think that I don't think the story's out on this yet, because the speeds on fixed-based 5G, I think, will probably always be a lot faster than the Starlink. So I don't know. Have you guys got any? Do you have any comments?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a tower to be built, not within sight of my residence. But I've been waiting for a year.
5G does not go very far, so you need to have more stations.
Right.
And Starlink is not made for residential areas. It's really made for people areas who are in the rural areas and are in the boonies and don't have typical cellular.
But Starlink is faster than what I get now, and what I now pay almost $100 for each month.
Well, then you might be a candidate for that, but other technologies will probably be available.
Yeah, I'm
intrigued by the Starlink. I would like to see it on the RV. That would be,
There's 3 or 4 other low Earth orbit systems that are in development, and some that have already put satellites up in the sky, but not enough of them yet to make a service out of it. But Starlink's definitely going to have competition. They're just first on the block, and they've got a lot of them out there.
But, and first does not always mean best. Or the ones that finish.
Right.
Even if they're better, it doesn't always mean that they're going to be the
but if you are in a rural area, I think it's important that you do just check with your cell phone providers, either T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon, and see if they have fixed-based 5G in your area, because a tower may have gone up and you don't know about it. And that would provide you with some very fast internet service. So it's always good just to check that, particularly if you're in a rural area.
And it's improving everywhere all the time.
T-Mobile in my area came and gave me something I hook onto my window and into my router, so I can have my cell phone service via Wi-Fi and make me a hotspot for my neighbors who happen to have also T-Mobile. Because we don't have T-Mobile.
So you're sort of a broadcaster now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And they pay them extra for that, I'm sure.
No, I just got the equipment for free.
And Sue says hi from Deerfield, Illinois. Olive says, will Starlink's laser system help with international bandwidth?
Yeah, they're in several countries in Europe, Australia, and Africa, as well as here in North America, and I believe South America as well. They've got, Alaska, they're covering places that have never had broadband at all now have it through Starlink.
And also the original, like the way it works now is the beam goes up and it goes down when you've got upload and download from the satellite. But I think the goal ultimately is have the communication between satellites. So if you're looking for if you put a request for a web page or something, it could go up, bounce off 2 or 3, satellites in orbit, and then back down, and that would be the shortest way. Yeah. So that's even between. So that's going to speed things up as well.
They just launched the first batch of those laser satellites for Starlink.
Last week. That was in my last report.
That's right. That's where I learned about it.
There you go.
Thank you, Hewie.
So pretty darn cool. And now this is interesting. Did you guys see this? Your EU proposes mandatory USB-C on all devices, including iPhones. Now, what was the reason for this? Junk. It's like all these wires, millions and millions or billions of wires that we get, and they want a standard USB connection to everything, so you don't need to have wires when you buy any electronic device.
I have to go through my collection of wires and get rid of them real quick. Take them to the flea market.
Yeah. So, but of course, the iPhone uses a Lightning connection. It doesn't use the USB-C. So I don't know. So the big question is how Apple is going to respond to this. This just came out this morning. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But wouldn't that be nice if we all had just one connector and it was all the same? Wouldn't that be just great?
Did I hear the new Apple iPad Mini? Is that USB-C?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So they're beginning to see the light.
Yeah, Chris will probably get one of those.
It looks pretty interesting, and the price is pretty good.
Oh, they're nice.
Out of all the things Apple launched last week, I thought that iPad Mini was probably the coolest device. And
with the 5G.
With 5G. That's right. And what is it? $300 or $400? It's cheap,
$400 starting price.
Yeah. If you want the LTE, then it's another about $100, I think.
Right.
Yeah. But I can see lots of applications, particularly in hospitals for medical personnel who are traveling around. They need something in their pocket. I think it's going to be great. I think they're going to sell a lot of those.
With USB-C, you can now go ahead and just plug something in, and you now have a monitor that you can plug in. You can do all kinds of things because it has the USB-C connection.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Keyboards, everything else. You can make a computer out of it.
So Irving's asked a question for Bob. He says, my free Avast program tells me my Rogers router is in the open position and accessible from the internet. Could you comment on these risks? Now, Rogers is a cell phone provider in Canada. Hey, that's you may not know that, but my free Avast program tells me my Rogers router, so they've given him a router, is in the open position and accessible from the internet. I guess
right. It means that Rogers can make changes to your router. That's what that primarily means.
Okay.
And Avast is just letting you know that, well, it is open and Rogers can access it. I guess somebody else who is close enough to you could probably also do that. But now it depends on how far are you away from somebody else being able to access your router. Close enough, you might have a problem, but they have to be pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close. Okay.
Right.
All right. Let's go down the list here.
When I had my new router installed from Comcast, they also wanted access so that they could do updates and everything else automatically.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, that's nice. And as soon as they left, I changed the password and I changed the sign-in. And Comcast, of course, they no longer have open access to it because they have to come to me and say, hey, we can't do this. Well, when you're ready for an update, let me know. I'll change it back and make you guys happy, and then change it back as soon as you guys have finished with the updates. That's one way to protect yourself.
This article came out, and this is what I was talking. I don't know, Jim, were you on our afternoon or Michael's Tinkering with Tech? I talked about this yesterday or the day before. This is the thing that I got. YouTube beta testing video downloads on desktop, and this came out. And this is a new feature that if you pay the $10 a month and you have the premium YouTube service, which means you don't get ads, then this is a new feature that they're experimenting with, and it allows you to download any videos, not your video, but any videos onto your desktop. Now, in the past, this has been really frowned upon because, of course, but I guess with more and more people wanting to download videos to watch offline, then this is, they decided, okay, this is the way to go. So you now can download any video. This is but I guess it's only available if you have the premium. So did you guys see this? You probably all have do you have the premium account? Did you see that, Jim?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. There used to be, well, there are several ways to download content.
Yep.
And they've been fighting it. YouTube has been fighting that for copyright. I think it would be much better if the content provider chose and would say, okay, it's okay for people to download this and use it however they would like, or with attribution, or however you want to set it up, as opposed to making any video downloadable for a certain amount of time for premium viewers. We have a premium account. Somebody does, Chris does, but it's, I know what you're saying. And but if anybody uses it somewhere else, then there could be a copyright issue. If you just do it for your own personal use, it's pretty much like the old, music issues years ago.
Avast
recording your own.
Avast in their secure browser has a feature to allow downloads from YouTube. But there's also a caveat that goes with it. You should only be using it if you had a paid version of, or the premium version of YouTube.
Right.
Now, I did a video on how to use that software a year ago, and I got a strike on my channel. That's still there. I did a second video recently, but that one specifically states in it, only use it if you have the premium version. That video has lots and lots of views, and I've never been bothered with that one. But the old one, which didn't have that notice in it, because it wasn't something that was ever mentioned a year ago, that still has a strike.
Did you take that video down, or is it still up there?
No, the video is down, but I still have a strike on my channel for exactly the same thing that I don't have a strike for when I did it recently, with a disclaimer in it that you should only use it if you have a premium version of YouTube.
Well, yeah. They do some strange stuff, don't they?
Yes, they do. And you got nobody you can go to, because all you can do is protest. And if they say, sorry, okay, you're stuck with it.
All right. Olive says, my Chromebook USB-C key adapter feeds in Ethernet, HDMI, USB 2, all at the same time. Amazing. I'm glad to hear that EU's proposal. Exactly. Stuart says, what is going to happen this when all of these satellites start failing? What is going to happen to them? Well, they're going to return to Earth.
They actually have in the plans how they burn up and come back down and get them out of the skies. So
they've got plans for that.
They do have plans.
It's called re-entry burning.
Mm-hmm.
Automatically incinerates them. So Vale, my buddy from Silveridge, I am waiting for the ultrasound watch. Yes. Well, that's going to be very interesting. And I think that's probably going to come where you can do an ultrasound with your watch. That'll be sort of cool. Olive says, Stuart, they're going to make Meteor. They make great meteor wrongs. We've got great views of one of Starlink's second booster. Yep, whatever goes up, it's got to come down. George, does Google check videos uploaded to G Drive? Does Google check videos uploaded to
and for what? I'm sure they run algorithms against it to make sure that there's nothing illegal.
I don't know. So if you upload videos to your Google Drive, like your own Google Drive, do they check those? Or I thought that was private information, or do you think they review those videos as they go up onto your G Drive?
I wouldn't think they would admit they do.
They might do some checking if you decide you're going to share it publicly.
Right. What do you mean by, checking it? I mean, they're not going to have somebody there looking for videos. There's just too many of them. So they're, they'll run them through an algorithm that'll check for certain things, but it'll be anonymized if they find something. That's the same thing as Apple's doing with their on-device checking for pictures.
Right.
Which
they've stopped. They're not going to bring that service in. So that's what they said. Yeah. Well, I can see. So Leo Laporte did a big thing on that, and I was listening to it. And one of the problems is it's all fine and dandy in Canada, United States, but around the world and different locations like Afghanistan or like some of the countries. Whereas if you got, because if you find something, then you've got to notify the bodies of those countries. Well, that could be a death sentence, right? Like, I mean, you don't know in different countries what this is all going to turn out to be. So I think there's a lot more thought that needed to go into it. George says, check for copyright content. So the question is, would they be looking at all your videos as they get uploaded to Google Drive, your own personal Google Drive? Would they be looking at that and seeing if there was any copyright issues? I don't think so.
I don't think for copyright. No.
I don't think so.
If you were to share it.
Correct. That's where the problem comes in, and that's what gets checked. Right. But that's done through an algorithm.
Right.
What are you doing with the video?
Right.
Uploading it, sharing it privately. As soon as public comes into the content, then you could wind up with some problems.
Right. Ola says, well, how many years could we need to watch you'd never watch all YouTube?
No, nobody lives long enough.
Nobody lives long enough.
Not even what's uploaded in 1 hour. You don't live long enough to watch what's uploaded in an hour.
That's right. And last year, I think I told everyone there was more hours watched on YouTube than regular television in the United States. So it is. And I watch, I'm not talking about YouTube TV. I'm talking just YouTube general.
Right.
I watch more YouTube than I do television. I don't watch a lot of television I watch Netflix and Amazon Prime, but actual cable services, almost none.
Agreed.
I just don't. Any comment on Microsoft Surface Duo 2 phone? That's interesting.
I didn't watch, and some of the podcasts I listened to last night, I slept through where they talked about it, so I didn't. I didn't follow what they came out with or what they announced.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Although the Samsung Galaxy Flip 3, I keep telling you guys that's a hot phone. That's really cool. Yep. I'm sort of waiting for the Pixel 6, but I'm seriously having a look at that, and I really like it.
Did you see where Pixel 6 is going to be superseded by a folding phone? Maybe
I saw that. I saw it. Well, is the Google thing next week? Is it next week that the big Google announcement when they're going to release all this stuff?
Might be, yeah.
I can't rember, but it's
sometime next month, I think.
Coming up
October is early October.
Yeah, because lots of big announcements coming up. Well, we're getting into pre-Black Friday, right? This next couple of months, this is the big time when most of the electronics in the world gets sold. So lots of cool stuff. So Bob, this is the picture I wanted to show you. We're talking about this before the show today, and this is a company I'm really into. As I was telling you guys, I got three. I got a fleet of vacuum cleaners out in the house. I got 3 of them and a mop. I got 4, so they're all running around cleaning the house. But so I'm just addicted to this stuff. And this is a new one that came out. I don't know if you've heard of Neatbot, Neatbot. This actually is a sort of the Rolls Royce of vacuums. And this is their new one that has just come out. But look at the receptacle where the empty. You know how it's going to go right up into this device, and then of course it's going to empty the vacuum into the receptacle here. But we were talking about these devices and how some of them can be tippy and so on. But isn't that a cool looking thing?
What's the price on this one?
These are all $800 or $900. They're not,
right.
Yeah, they're not. These are the Rolls Royces. This is pretty cool. But I thought
I don't have a Rolls Royce either. So,
but you know, there are a lot of these. There's thousands of makers of these devices, and Neatbot is an interesting one because it is well made. It's been around a long time. It's not quite the Roomba. It's not as pop. Roomba would be your Chevrolet. Neatbot would be your Rolls Royce. It's the ultimate. So anyway, it's sort of cool. The new Fitbit Charge 5 is coming out, and this is a review on the Fitbit Charge 5. I'm not going to buy the Charge 5, but it's interesting. Now, I think it's only going to be about $185, but one of the things you're going to start to see on all these watches now is subscription services. So in order to make a lot of these features work on this watch, you need to pay a monthly fee. So yes, the prices are lower on this particular watch, only about $185. But if you want to do a lot of the health apps on it, yes, it is a subscription fee. You have to pay on a monthly basis to get those to work. And you're going to see this more coming on watches. And you need to watch that before you're purchasing it, because you got to factor that in. Because if you don't pay the subscription fee, then you've got a $10 watch, right? You don't have all the features that this is going to do. So
even Wise discovered very quickly that without subscription services, Wise wasn't so wise.
Wise was, yeah. We talked about that last Monday, and
correct.
And they just about went broke last year. They came so close to filing bankruptcy. They had no money left. They laid off everybody. They had no support services, no product, no everything.
By the way, I was on Wise's watch list, and I just got 2 emails. One saying that the lamp is now available and the earbuds are now available.
The earbuds I already have.
Yeah, but they are available, but they're more expensive now than what you paid for them.
Yeah.
So that is sort of cool. Yes, the Lenovo Chromebook Duet tablet. So if you are interested, just let everyone know that we're going to be talking about this in another hour, but there are just so many new Chromebooks coming out. It's incredible. And this is a really cool product. This was just reviewed by Chrome Unboxed. Robbie Payne from Chrome Unboxed just has a video out on this, and it's pretty cool. It's a tablet, and the keyboard detaches, and you have you can use it as a combination or just a standalone tablet. This is let you know that again, Huawei is bringing out a whole series of watches with all sorts of cool features in them. This is coming out. Yes. Now, the other thing, I'm going to talk about this actually on our Chromebook session in another hour. But Chrome 90, we have Chrome as a browser, and the Chrome now, of course, 94 is rolling out now, and this is a new concept now.
Challenge to show.
This is a new concept now that, of course, it's going to roll out once a month. So we're going to see a new version each month of the Chrome browser coming out in the Chrome OS, which is powering your Chromebooks. They are going to be skipping 95 and of the Chrome OS. There will be no Chrome OS 95. And when we get to 96, then they're going to try and pair the Chrome OS release with the Chrome browser release, so that it'll be a monthly staged update. And so this is what's going on. So before you never knew when these updates were coming. They come every 2 or 3 months, and so Google has made a firm commitment. So we should probably see a new version of the Chrome browser each month. Boom, right on track. So that's why we're seeing that.
One of the problems, though, with this is when you have new releases that close together, those of us that are beta testers, we constantly wind up with more and more problems. And by the time it gets rolled out, since they're so close together, not all the problems get solved.
Right.
So you become partly a beta tester because the cycles are so close together. Yes, it's nice to get those nice new features, but if it wrecks lots of other things, I don't know if that's really to the betterment of the average consumer.
Hard to know. We'll see. Obviously, they're going to start coming out quickly. So Chris or Jim, this was the 2 new Facebook portal displays that they're bringing out. Just an article. They've got 2 coming out.
They have some new stuff out too that is just, it'll use a different camera, or it'll set up a camera and it'll go through your TV. And they have some new products out that some people might want to look at, especially if you're into Facebook.
Yeah, for sure. And also coming out are some new. These are does Chris, I think Chris has a paperweight. Paperwhite, doesn't she?
I have a paperweight.
You have a paper. There's and this was interesting. This was written by Paul Thurrott from Thurrott.com, which of course he writes a lot of articles about Windows. But he wrote this article on the new Kindle Paperwhite e-reader. So just to let everyone know that there is a bunch of. Do you like yours, Jim? Do you?
Yeah, I do. Chris really prefers reading Kindle books using the app on her phone because you can do it one-handed. You can sort of do it one-handed with this little guy, the Paperwhite, and it's my second one. So I use it, but mostly when we're traveling. I don't read much here.
So why would you use a Paperwhite over an app on your phone, which would be a very high-end phone? You've got a very nice phone. What would be the difference between the two?
Well, not everyone has a high-end phone. The Paperwhites are really good on battery. They have plenty of storage. You can do some things with it. The thing about the app on the phone is so nice because the links are live if you're in the app, and you can search for things because you're connected. You can do some of that stuff, but I don't think there's anything you can do on the Paperwhite that you can't do on the app on the phone.
All right.
And you always have your phone with you.
That's true. Let's see where else we got to roll down here. Next big event coming up, Amazon is launching brand new Alexa, Echo, Kindle, and Fire devices, all brand new devices coming out again. So if you are thinking of getting another device, there's a whole bunch more coming out.
We're always thinking about getting new devices.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's it's definitely there. Fitbit Charge 5 we talked about. This was cool. I can't make. I guess we don't have anybody here that's got the Galaxy 4. This is the Samsung's hand wash app. So this was a new app that came out for the Galaxy Watch 4. One of the nice things about the Galaxy Watch 4 with Android Wear is the link into all the apps on the in the Play Store. A lot of them all work on the watch, and this was one in which it detects you washing your hands, and not only does it prompt you to wash them every so often, but if you are washing it, it times you and tells you how you did. So and it knows when you're washing because it's listening to the water, right? It's got the water rushing, and then of course the movement of your hands.
Chris's Apple Watch does that now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool, but I can't get it to work. So I'll have to ask maybe Bill or Dewey have the same watch, and maybe they've got it to work. But I thought it was sort of cool. So and there's the new Paperwhite. Oh, the other thing I wanted to just remind everybody is refurbished iPhones. Since you're all looking, a lot of people are looking for purchasing iPhones now. Some can't afford. They're very expensive, and some can't afford the latest model. But oftentimes you can actually purchase iPhones directly from Apple, and these all come with warranties, and they're certified, and they are refurbished. And so there is a big market for refurbished iPhones, and so a lot of people don't know that. So I thought just before you go, and if you want an iPhone but you really can't afford one, what you might want to do is just look at the Apple site. And this is now in Canada as well. You'll be at Apple is going to be selling refurbished iPhones, so might be an interesting thing if you want to.
Yeah, they also do that for iPads. The iPad Air that I have, which is now several years old, and I can't even update it. It was I bought it refurb from Apple, and it had a warranty on it when I got it. And I've had it a good many years with no problems with it at all. So.
Mm-hmm. I bought my Pixelbook, my favorite. Oh man, I love that thing. I bought my Pixelbook refurbished, and it was still expensive, but it was great. Let's see what else we got here. We are coming on to. Let's see what we've got else here to talk about. How to insure? Oh, e-bikes. I was going to ask Jim. You said you didn't take your e-bikes. You didn't take your with you when you went this summer.
Well, no. When we were getting ready to leave, I was testing them out, making sure they had air and all this stuff. And one of them didn't work, mine. And so we left those, and we took our regular bikes, and we preferred it for level bike riding, and that was all we did. And so we got more exercise that way. The e-bikes were a lot of fun. We've had ours for a few years, so they're not new and exciting. They're actually kind of at the end of their life, and the company that made them were out of business. So I wasn't going to go in and replace this thing with old technology. If we decide we want e-bikes again, we'll just buy something that's new.
Did you put your bikes on a rack behind, or do you store them inside?
They're folding, so I modified a bicycle rack, and so I fold them and put them up on the rack, and they both fit side by side. I strap them together and put a cover over them and go down the road. They're about 45 pounds. They're not as heavy as some of the bigger bikes, so they were small wheel. Nothing big. They were 45 pounds without the batteries. So you take the batteries, you take, some accessories off to hang them up. But I just had a barbecue grill cover, and it was great. Fit on the back of the van. I had to take one off in order to open the one side door. If I wanted to get them both off, obviously I had to take them both off. But it was great. Did that for 3 years.
Yeah, that's great. We are just about out of time. An hour has gone by. Wow, we've had so much fun. Jim, thank you for coming.
No, you're welcome. It's always fun to talk with you guys.
It's been a blast. Yeah, it's been a blast. And for those of you who are listening and want to come, Hewie and I are going to take a little half an hour to have something to eat and to get organized, because we have another meeting in an hour learning Chromebooks, and it's free, and it's an hour. It's going to be a good one. I think we've got some good stuff.
We got a lot of information for new users, experienced users, and people who have never used a Chromebook. So lots of good information. So we are going to start right on time. And we're not going to chit chat too much because we've got all this stuff to show you. So we're going to get right into it. So we'll be ready to roll there. Bob, are you going to come? Are you going to see us in another round?
Oh yeah. I'm going to be there. Yep. I have my Chromebook right next to me. So With my new layout, I have a laptop, a monitor, and the Chromebook sits right in front of the laptop. So it's open most of the time also.
Yeah.
There
I
you
got
go.
to beat.
All right. Listen, everyone that's listening, thank you so much for coming. We will see you in a week's time. Again, this is taped, and as soon as I hit end broadcast, it's available for replay. So please enjoy it, and we will see all of you in a few minutes for our Learning Chromebook. And if you want, and don't forget our Monday show will be the whole gang will all be there on Monday, this coming Monday at 9 o'clock Pacific time, right? Right, Hewie?
Yep, and noon real time.
Real time.
And 10 o'clock my time.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Goodbye now.
Bye, everybody.